Amina Atairu Show, Finding Answers. Computer Village, one of the largest ICT marketplace in Africa, and a place that has housed over 3,000 businessmen and women in the ICT sector. Did you know that the Computer Village located here in Lagos generates over $2 billion annually? Yes, this report was given by the Ministry for Information and Technology in Lagos. And did you also know that this marketplace used to be on a place in Surulere, Ogunlano Drive in the 1990s? Well, now you know. My name is Amina Atairu, and you're welcome to the Amina Atairu Show. It's a beautiful 2024, and like we say, is a year of no green. And a lot of people in the tech world, I would say, have not been green, if there's a word like that, or refuse to agree with the market policies of the government. Why some businesses still struggle as we speak today, some have also left the shores of this country. However, we have people that are still thriving for over 2 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, before I unveil my guests, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Amina Atairu Show, Finding Answers. Thank you for always staying tuned. It's the Amina Atairu Show. Like I said earlier, I have a businessman, someone with over 2 decades, and someone who has been in the business longer than you think. A man who is a graduate of public relations, of course, a diploma that he obtained from Ogun State Polytechnic, and later decided to change ship and studied mass communication from the same institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Mr. Sulieman Adebola Adele. He is the CEO of Sultech Computers, and he's very popular, by the way, in the Computer Village. Welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm good.
They say 2024 is a year of no gree.
Well, I don't know where they coined that phrase from, but I see it as an aggressive approach to issues, be it business, social, whatever.
Well, a lot of business in 2023 actually closed shop. We saw a lot of companies retrenching their staff due to the harsh economy that we're still experiencing right now in 2024. Wouldn't you say that's the reason why that no green mantra came out?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with business.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was coined from the streets regarding security operatives, people's dealings with one another. Not really has to do anything with business. I don't think it has. Because if you say, what's it called? No grief for anybody. It's either you buy or you don't buy.
Buy.
No grief does not apply. So it doesn't apply in business.
Okay. So tell me, a man who studied public relations and then mass communication would think that you would be in my line of business. Right? Probably like now I should be calling you a veteran. What's happened? Why did you go into the business of computers?
Okay, I'll delve briefly into my school days. Okay, somewhere along the line, I think just before I finished my paying school fees was a bit of a challenge, and a friend of mine introduced me to photography. I learned photography from him, and we went into business together. We used to take pictures at NYC camps, and then I opened a stall, I would say stand, in my school there. And I was quite popular then. My business name was Infinity Pictures then. With no relations with the big brand.
Okay.
So, don't let me go in.
No, I would like to actually hear about it.
Okay. So, photography brought me popularity. amongst the student community. And from there, I opened a barbering salon. Yeah, I'm a professional barber.
Really?
I learned on the job. And then went on to do DJ work. I used to be a DJ, party DJ for small parties, like birthdays, anything that brought money in. Then went into renting of videos and, just foreign videos because we had problems with, what's it called,
Local content then.
local producers. So you can't just rent their videos out there. So I think that's where the idea of just going into business. So being my own boss um, was the way out of the various challenges that I had. I realized that no employer could pay um, for whatever service that you give them. You understand? It's quite difficult because when you look at it, you wake up so early in the morning, put in so much time from 9 to 5. And no matter how committed you are to that job, it cannot be valued in terms of your salaries or remuneration. So I realized very early that the amount of work I put into my business determines how fast I will grow. So that was just how I went into business. So I moved back to Lagos from Abeokuta. I could remember that I used to tell a friend of mine that we're in business together that I think the next phase of business is IT. Because that's where the world was shifting.
So you knew this that was 20 years ago?
Yes. I knew this that was about 20 years. I realized that, excuse me, I realized early that a lot of jobs will be lost to computers. Like then when we were in school, if you needed to type your thesis or your project, you had to go to a typist somewhere. Then you rush down to what's it called, the photocopy,
Yes.
And all that. When you look at it these days, you don't get those anymore.
True that.
Once you have your computer, you can do whatever you can type
and print as
and
you
print with your printer. So it has taken the job off the desk of the typist. So how do we key into it? The only way you can key into that big pie was to be within the market. Because we had friends that were not too bright, that were doing relatively well. And I said, come, if these guys can do this and be successful at it. He said, it was full of negative energy. And, well, he traveled out. And he traveled out to China, but I stayed back. And my first encounter in Computer Village, I had a lot of friends that finished from school. I think, so Computer Village was pursued out of necessity. And I tried to key into the business. And so we started by selling phones at the street corners. I came with my own personal phone, sold my phone.
You sold your phone first?
Yes, I sold my phone, bought another phone on the streets. There are times you don't even have a phone to insert your SIM into. Just so that's how we started. Till one of those days, a friend of mine is now in the US. He was already established. He was just walking past with a computer under his shoulder, with a laptop under his shoulder. And one of my friends on the street called my attention to him. Come, that's your friend from school. These are the big boys that are selling computers. Why don't you just link up with him? I said, well, that's not a bad idea.
And that's how you linked up?
That's how I linked up.
But if you look at Computer Village then, I mean, even now, I think it's even better. There were a lot of security challenges when it comes to trust. People buy gadgets and then the next minute they see, let me use the local word, Akpu inside it as battery. How was it for you? Because there was a lot of trust issues when buyers from different parts of the country comes into Computer Village. Did you ever had that experience?
No, I never had the experience, but I had people that have that experience, that went through those experiences. And I would say it here that if you're greedy, you'll be a victim of scam. Let's let's assume they sell this iPhone now for, don't let me use the current market price, let me just assume that this iPhone now costs like 200,000. And you walk into Computer Village and someone calls you on the street that it's going to sell you the same iPhone for 70,000. You should know that that's too good to be true.
Well,
you should know that that's too good to be true. Then you're greedy. So, if you are conned out of your money, then it's your fault. There are shops that sell. There are shops that sell genuine phones that you can always walk back to if you have any problem. But you just meet someone, a random person on the street, telling you that you should buy something like 70,000 naira cheaper. Oh, sorry, 70% cheaper. Come on. You just exposed yourself to a scam.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in your own case, I mean, you have been in that hub, you've been in that business now for 20 years.
Plus.
20 years plus, over 20 years. So you met this your friend and then you started a collaboration.
No, I did start a collaboration. Started working for him as a staff.
Oh wow.
I was his manager. But it was quite tough because selling phones was just basic knowledge. Just pick up a phone. You don't need to know. The phones don't really have technical things attached to it. It's just, the brand of the phone. That's all the sales it. You understand? But when it comes to computers, you must know the size of the memory. That's the random access memory. You must know the size of the hard drive. You must know the size of the screen. You must know the type of processor. All these are features that you must learn. And then it doesn't stop at sales. It doesn't stop at sales. You have to give expert advice. There are some people that just come into Computer Village that want to buy computers and they're like, I need a computer. It's your duty, your responsibility
to ask what kind of computer do you want?
No, not just that.
Okay.
You ask what the person does.
What if I don't want to tell you what I do?
But I will ask you what you want to use the computer for.
Okay. Yeah. What's that?
So I can give you an informed opinion about what computer will fit what you do. So if you're like a graphic artist or an architect, and you come up to me that you need a computer, it's my duty to advise you that you can't buy a cellular. You can use.
You have to speak up for the benefits of.
You can't use a Pentium dual core. You can't use an i3. The minimum that you use is probably a Core i5. And if you do heavy jobs like rendering that requires your computer to render, to give it speed, you need systems that have dedicated memory. So
you had to learn all this thing under your friends?
Yes, you have to learn.
So which means you went through another school?
Yes, you have to go through that. I went through another total revamp of knowledge.
Of knowledge.
You understand? You have to just learn from scratch.
And so how was that journey? How's that journey been? Starting Sultech Computers. How was Sultech birthed?
Okay. I spent just 6 months with my friend. We had issues along the line. Issues of ideology, issues of trust. Because I was quite smart. And he saw me as a threat at a particular point in time. And he felt that this guy does not take over my business. Because his customers were able to relate better with me. Because I took my time to learn very well. I learned even better than him at a point. So he saw me as a threat and threw me out.
He threw you out?
Yes, he threw me out.
Wow.
Yeah, he threw me out, So I was back on the street. But now, better equipped.
So at the time that you were thrown out, did it affect your relationship with the already existing customers you already had?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You see, the most important thing in Computer Village that I'll tell anyone that cares to listen, that I'll tell any young person that is aspiring to do business, the most important thing is to build
Can you say that out loud so that they can hear?
Build trust. You have to build trust. While I was with my friend, I built trust. With a lot of what's called resellers that had shops. I can walk into your shop and I can pack goods worth. Don't let me exaggerate. Maybe 5 million.
Really?
Yes, that was the level of trust people had in me. And
without cash?
Without cash. With a promise that I'm coming back to pay. They don't know where I live. All they have is just my number and the face.
But that's risky.
It was.
So do you do that now as Sultech Computers? Do you just...
Yes. We still do that with young aspiring entrepreneurs that we feel. Yeah, there's a way you learn on the business. It's called experience, can't be bought. There's a way you study someone. You've been seeing this person here and there. You've not heard any bad stories about that person, collecting goods, not paying, and all that. So you kind of study the person. And in some cases, you can throw around names. If it throws around names, you can just pick up your phone. Because it's a small, like you said, it's a village.
Yes.
It's a small village. If it throws up a name, you can call that person and confirm with that person if it's a trustworthy person. And if that person gives you a green light,
that's it.
That's it. Start doing business.
So, starting Sultech Computers now.
Okay, starting Sultech Computers. Okay. After I was thrown back on the streets, I could remember I pitched my tent with Chuk Silo.
Okay.
Chuk Silo today is one of the biggest players in computer. DreamWorks. Okay, we started together.
Wow.
He had a shop, but he didn't have the expertise. He was an engineer, but he didn't have the expertise when it comes to laptops, which was my core area of specialization. So, pitched up with him, started doing business together. In those days, it was very fun because customers come in and we don't have anything on the shelves.
Really?
Yeah.
It was an empty shop.
Empty shelf. And we just tell, okay, we'll go get it. We have now.
We get I thought it was only in Balogun Market, Lagos Island, they do that.
No, we have it.
For our second shop.
Right now, because he had a big office that we shared.
Okay.
And then you dash off, bring it down, make a profit. That's it. Then we have people bringing stuffs in that want to sell. We write them a check, even though we don't have money in our account. Yes, it wasn't a crime. We write them a check and tell them, okay, this goods you have bought, we have valued it as so amount. We make it out.
Give them the day.
Present it tomorrow. As the person is stepping out, we are rushing out to sell them.
Wow.
So before you get to the bank tomorrow morning,
the money is there.
The money is there.
Amazing.
So we built our business on trust and smartness. And somewhere along the line, I and this guy too fell out.
How come you're just what's the issue?
See, the thing is, people get threatened when they know you're intelligent. People get threatened when they know you're smart. I think we're still very good friends today. But I also saw that those were the pivotal moments that birthed Sultech Computers. Because if we went together, probably we'll still be subservient to him and all that. So that was how I moved to the next phase. I pitched my tent with these guys, Amedu Jikutu, who incidentally was the president of Kaplan.
I know Jikutu, yes.
I met Jide Odulaja and Adibo Kwabi. They shared a shop. The name of the shop then was Pacific Network. So I spent some time with them using their shop as my outlet. And if there's anything I realized in my journey was that at a point you have to have your own. If you don't have your own, you still be running Around into circles to make it. So I think 2007, and I got my own shop. Very small space. Very small.
How small is small? Like a cubicle?
Okay, it's as small as stretching both hands and touching both walls. Yes, that's
a cubicle.
Yeah, it's a cubicle. And it was a boys' quarter of a larger complex. So, I got someone to share the shop because we had this, there was this trend then, if you cannot pay for the whole shop, get someone to share. So I had this junior colleague, Abdurrahman Giwai, my friend's younger brother, so we started sharing the shop together and I registered my company. He registered his own and then the expansion started coming. The expansion came. I got a bigger space with a showroom and an office. And then the real breakthrough for us came in 2008 when I got my first visa to visit the United Kingdom. And the visa was fresh, I was happy. Then this gentleman walked into my shop. I needed 250 computers.
250 computers.
See, don't judge the book by its cover. The guy didn't look like someone that could pay for even 10 laptops. But a businessman, give everybody a say. So we moved, he invited me to his office, which was not too, I would say, was not too, it doesn't complement. The office did not
complement what you saw.
No, it didn't complement the kind of business that I brought. Okay. I went to a friend of mine, Dr. Shugo Ali, Dashling Computers, and when the man was we looked around for these computers and we didn't get anything in computer field. I can't remember the name of the computer but I can remember it was an HP. So Dako suggested that come, we have visas. You have the contacts in the UK. Because then I already had contacts I could buy from in the UK. So we went to an agreement with the guy, okay, we're gonna bring these goods and then within 2 weeks. Give us 2 weeks. Give us 70%. We'll go to the UK. I'll get free. And I paid for that was travel. His trip there. I think my first flight there was. I think the tickets were just 97,000.
97,000 naira.
Yes, Virgin.
But this is 2008.
2008. 97,000 naira. I still have the ticket. I was going through my archives the other day. I saw the ticket. I was like, wow, how far we have fallen. And went to the UK. Dapo didn't have the contacts. He has been to the UK just once. I went around. We got a fantastic deal, even better than what we anticipated. I think I did that business with Sultech, an Indian guy, a British guy, Indian descent.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was our biggest break.
Wow.
That was our breakthrough. That was my breakthrough for Sultech computers, and we're able to supply those goods in record time. Supplied in a week.
Nice.
I spent 5 days in the UK. The goods got to us, I think 2 days after I got back. And we supplied. That was for Osun State government. The goods, the laptops were for Osun State government.
And you had no idea that he was working with government?
No, I never had an idea.
And that was a big break for Sultech computers.
That was a big break for us then.
Amazing. One quote I picked right now says, as a businessman, give everybody a say. Right? Yes. Which means don't look down on anybody. You have to give everybody a say. We're going to continue with this conversation, yes, knowing how he spent over 2 decades in computer village and still thriving. Sultech Computers, stay with us. We'll be right back. Still looking at your journey, I would like to discuss the area that is very pertinent to most Nigerians out there, especially people that are, hopeful that they might work with you, aspiring staff of yours. First, I'd like to understand what's your staff welfare like? How do you treat the people who work with you?
Staff welfare, you see, the thing is, a good staff will get good incentive. If you put your mind to it. Because what we do is more technical. And if you're not interested, if you don't show interest, you just want to come to work and just sit around all day, well, we'll be looking at you. You get your salary at the end of the month. But if you show that you want to add value to the company, you want to take us to the next level with whatever you're bringing in from wherever you come in, then you'll be rewarded. We reward hard work. I personally reward hard work because I know it's difficult out there. I don't wait for the economic challenges to stare me in the face before I increase staff salary. I think in the past we've been able to help some of our staff through our institution.
Oh, nice. And it had nothing to do with the salaries?
No. With the salaries. So when it comes to staff welfare, so it depends on what you bring.
What the person is bringing. So if someone wants to work with Sultech Computers or wants to be employed by Sultech Computers, what are that thing you look out for as a CEO?
First, your appearance. Because we have to attend to customers every day. Yeah. Yoruba people will say, Irini Sini Sani Lojo. You understand it. Your appearance tells a lot about the company and the person. So the first thing we look at is your appearance, and then your qualifications, and then the way you carry yourself. And you can't tell everything by just mere looking at someone.
True that.
You put that person to the test.
True test.
So those are basically the things we look at for.
So what's your staff strengths?
Presently we have 2 offices, we have 2 locations, and we have like 5 staffs, with me making 6. Because I consider myself a staff.
Okay.
So we have 3 working here, 3 on the other side. We interchange.
You interchange every time, so you have to swap.
Yes, we have to swap. Because our front office has more activities. That's where the stock strength is highest. While the other showroom, where my office is, relatively calm.
Now less traffic. Less traffic.
Yeah.
Just for people that want to spend money.
No. The price you get from the first location is the same.
It's the same you get at the second one.
But if you want to have like a personal audience with me, then we can close the door and battle it out.
Nice. In the last 20 years, what has been your staff turnover? Looking at the fact that you maintain a very small unit of a team working with you.
No. I won't be able to give an accurate statistics on that. An accurate data on that, because I can't tell you that of mind. It will be difficult. Have
you ever had issues of theft?
Yes.
And how did you handle that?
Okay, the first incident was with someone that was close to me. So I have made it a policy that I don't employ friends. I don't employ family, because they always take advantage. One of my favorite lines from one of my favorite rap artists, the late Notorious B.I.G. I think it's on this this track, the 10 crack commandments. Money and blood don't mix. It's like something. The rest is vulgar. It's not for TV.
Okay.
So you learn that. You don't mix family with business. Because there was someone that was close to a family that I employed one time. He was stealing seriously from me. And then when we used to do lots of cash transaction, I had this safe. And every time I try to, at the end of every work day, I try to balance my account. I realize that we have shortages of 30, 40, 50 sometimes. But the kind of person I am, I find it difficult to accuse people for theft because we have more than one person there. So it will be difficult accusing someone wrongly. So I think then we came up with the idea that any monies that enter go straight to the bank. I think that helped it. Then I traveled to the UK. As I landed in the UK, a laptop went missing in the office. So, with evidence that I was able to gather when I got back, I realized it was that guy. And because it was like family, it wasn't really my family though, but it was close to one of my, it was like a cousin to one of my most trusted friends. So I couldn't take legal action against him. I just had to let him go. And then the second time we had a staff that used to steal. This one was stealing small. Taking items from the store, small. So I think we needed those items one time because they were small items. We needed them at a point. And we got to the store, something that we had about 300 and something of, it was now remaining maybe 30 something. Yes. So I had arrested, and when I threatened to prosecute, to go on to court, we settled out and our family paid. And since then, since I made an example of that person, we've not had theft.
You've not had theft so far. Amazing. So which means that, so far, in your last 20 years, starting and operating Sultech computers, you've had, I'll say, a smooth sail.
Yes, when it comes to theft. And another thing is, if you're selling what we are selling, you have to be very vigilant. See, Computer Village is a market. Don't forget. Forget all the blazer and the white shirts and all the blinks. Computer Village is a market. And you have to guide against it. You have customers that come in to do that pretend to be customers. They'll try to distract you and then pick something from your shelf. And we have open shelves. If you pick anything you pick, it's a lot of money. Especially for us that sell products of high value. If you pick anything from the shelf, we've had one of that. And then we have to install cameras. But another thing about installing cameras is that the deed would have been done.
Yeah.
Before you now start replaying. Yeah. You understand? So it still boils down to being vigilant. You understand? You have to you have to train your staff.
Okay, so good thing you have been able to address the issue of theft in Sultech computers. Now, parting words before you go. For a lot of people looking at coming into that space, the Computer Village markets, and doing business there, what would be like your top 2 advice for them?
First thing is, like I said earlier, you have to build trust. And then try as much as possible to create your own niche. When I say creating your own niche, it's like knowing exactly what you want to be known for. Like for Sultech computers now, if you're looking for high-end systems, we are known for only high-end systems. So if tomorrow now I pack low, entry-level laptops and put it on my shelf, I'm quite sure nobody will buy it. I won't get customers that will come in because most of our business is done amongst ourselves. And then create a very good website. Create a very good website, internet space, what's it called? Social media space.
Website and Cavendish.
Yeah, carve your own niche. Be known for a particular thing.
So if you want to sell high-end phone, be known to sell high-end phones. Amazing. Thank you so much to you, Sulieman, Adebola, Adele.
Yes.
I got that right.
Yeah, you got
Amazing.
it right.
Thank you for spending time with us on the Amina Atari Show.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, our take-home quote for today is, as a businessman, give everyone a say. That word for me, it sticks. Which means you can't judge a book by its cover. Thank you very much once again.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and until we come your way again next week, to stay out of trouble.